Thanks for 500 subscribers, guys.
Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Hello. In this one, we're going to do 5 loves, hates, and favourite mods.
I'm also going to do a bit of a story time about the Ute and some updates on where we are so far.
Let's get to it. Number 1, the engine in these things. So the main thing that probably gravitates people towards these is the motor. Iron block, alloy head, twin overhead cam, 4 litre, fairly big turbo standard with some pretty basic modifications. It's impressive what power these make and how they hold together. Blue. The size of the wheel arches under here is pretty impressive as standard. When a mate brought one of these around for me to have a look at, probably 10 years ago, I was mucking around the Holden Ute at the time and trying to squeeze 275s under there. So have a look at your wheel arches. I ran and got a tape measure. So this is a 345, that's the same as what's under there now, on a 13-inch wheel, which, you know, it's tight, but that went in with pretty minimal work. So the size of the wheel arches on these was definitely a big point for me always wanting an FG. The steering on these is so slow and relaxed. You can sit on the highway and little movements like this don't really dart it across the lane. So great cruising car, very easy to keep in a straight line. Bad thing about the steering, because it is so relaxed and cruisy, it's not very playful. So light, there's not a lot of feel. It's very slow to turn in. Definitely more oriented on the cruising side of the steering feel rather than the playful, sporty side. The gearbox. This is ZF 6-speed. They've got this predictive gear shift, but my main gripe is when you flick it into manual mode, they still kick down. If you're going slow in 3rd gear and put it across and give it the boot, it'll jump down to 2nd. So they've got that predictive shift or something in the auto. It thinks it knows what you're going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Sometimes I want to cruise, sometimes I want to fang, sometimes I want to cruise and fang, sometimes I want to fang. It's like these the mentalists that predict a number. You're thinking of number 3.
No.
No. Right, are you thinking of a number between
Okay,
1
ready?
and 10?
Hang on.
No, 1 and 6.
What? Okay,
Think
go.
of between 1 and 6.
Go.
4.
No.
Why? How do I know you're telling the truth?
Okay. Turn away. Don't look. Oh no. I was just like, close your eyes.
I'm driving your car.
Don't.
Right.
Okay. Hang on. Okay.
Right.
Okay, tell me, I think of a number. Don't look.
Between 1 and 6.
Okay.
2.
Oh, what's 2?
Measure this. In saying that though, it is impressive how much power these standard ZFs can handle. And every time it does a shift, I think it's going to break, but it is hanging in there. Even though you can put a fair bit of stuff in the back of a ute, the size of this compared to the size of the car, there's an unbelievable amount of wasted space under the back of this. You could actually fit a fair bit of stuff in there and under this car. If you wanted to smuggle something, I'm not recommending that, but this is a car to smuggle something in. Underneath there's that much space that you could smuggle another slightly smaller car. The fit and finish of everything in the tub here, it just, so much stuff contributes to road noise. Sure, when I first got it, I couldn't keep it in the lane because I'd be pressing everything trying to find all the rattles. I popped the door trims off and filled them full of t-shirts and rags and put the door trims back on. And I went down to Macca's and I couldn't mind my window down. So then I had to find the right balance of t-shirts. The stock interior in an FG is about as exciting as eating a raw potato. Speaking of interiors though, one of the big things that did lift the feel of this car was redoing it. So putting a bit of soft touch stuff everywhere, the fancy seats and the roof liner and the fancy back. So anything to make it feel a little bit less like a taxi. Missile switch, hooked up to the line locker at the moment, so that'll switch off the back brakes. That definitely makes me giggle every time I flick that switch. So the standard screen on these things looks like a calculator out of the 1980s. Swapping it with something a little bit more current that's got the internet and app store and all that sort of stuff was definitely a big plus to changing how this felt inside. Big wheels. Even though they are functional, I'd be lying if I said my main thing was because they look a little bit more aggressive.
Before, when it was just a normal standard ute. Yeah, and then do it with the butt of it.
Is that right? Is that how it looks?
That was good.
This was actually you egging me on to buy this. You said, just buy one. Why don't you buy one? Went out and bought the roughest, cheapest. You know when it's a used car-y, selling it from the backyard, it's a bit of a lemon. It had an intake and exhaust, injectors and a tune. 300 kilowatts. Next day we put Turbosmart intake, F6 intercooler, because it was making 300 kilowatts on the standard intercooler and piping, which that's what I didn't like. I was pushing that too hard. F6 cooler, hard piping, and that made it boost spike. So we had to call up the Powerlogic guy, because that's who tuned it in the past, and I'd never heard of them. But when I went there, yeah, you put on the dyno, tuned it in an hour, then it made 330, and that was awesome. So we put a bigger turbo on it, 3576 standard.
And then you'll take it to
3582. Yeah, we went to the older turbo, off at F6 or whatever. Yeah, 338 it made.
Okay.
Maxed out the fuel pump.
You did the second tune with Gen 2 on. You put a new fuel pump in.
Yep.
Valve springs.
Yep. Bigger intercooler, external wastegate. Because it looks like as you go through the mid 300s with these, a lot of things max out. Yeah. So I thought before I take it back again, just instead of going baby step, just do all the stuff so we can have a big swing at it. We went 390 on 98.
Then the wiring maxed out.
Little 525, I didn't know about that. The in-tank pumps need a big beefy wire going to them.
Yeah, so the fuel pump itself was fine, wiring not fine. Then we beefed up the wiring to make sure that we weren't starving for fuel, and then...
Which still wasn't big enough. We went back and did get more power, but the wiring that we put in it was still not big enough.
That's crazy.
We should show how big we actually had to put on that. It switched to fuel D85.
So we're at 452 kilowatt?
Yeah, 450, yep. Well, Max has got 655, but he's just having a laugh. He's just pushing it to see what happens.
Let's go.
Put 25 pounds in and see what happens.
525.
Well, that's what my mate's made there. Should we give it a bit of a boot here?
Yeah, go on. Whoa! That's gonna be like this at 450 is mean.
It really is.
It really isn't.
I took Ash for a drive before. He's like, I see what you mean about it wanting to kill you. As far as an FG ute goes, they're pretty basic things, but they are very unique. A lot of good points to them. The motor's a cracker. You can put a bike in the back, but the car itself, yeah.
I feel very much like the FGs are a sedan. They chopped half of it off and just stuck a tray in the back.
Exactly what they
really
did.
Like the ability to modify this engine, the power it can make, is ridiculous for the design of the car.
Yeah.
This car itself can't handle the speed or the power at all.
Just be aware of that. We should have a disclaimer on this saying, yeah, you can buy these parts and you get that much power. Just beware though.
You might not want that much
Should you have that?
No, I agree.
It's funny to do big burnouts everywhere, but realistically you can do that with afterpower.
Wait,
Let's give it a boot here.
Okay.
I'll see if I can pass off there. Got that wobble going on. Can you feel that? Even Ash said that.
Yeah, it does.
I think it's so unbalanced, this thing. It's got hard suspension in the back and wonky suspension in the front. Real soft sway bar. It just
it's
gets
just like...
this going. Proper pumps here. Nicole. Let's do it. Go on. People are going to think I'm soft as I do this. Dan will hate me for doing this.
My dad?
Fuck, that fast. Oh, my brakes are going.
That was really bad.
Better calm down a bit.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, we've done some stupid stuff, but I feel like just at any point this car might just like
I really gotta really watch it. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that one. We do appreciate all your support. Subscribe. It's free.
So subscribe.
It's free.
Okay.
It's un-Australian not to subscribe.
It is.
It's your duty. And it's free.
Tap that like button if you like this video. Comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. I will put that somewhere here. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Don't forget to skid responsibly. Bye.
Bye.
The interior was so bland, like eating a raw potato.
No, we're going to do that when you start filming.
Okay.
Because it's going to be more majestic.
How could it be more majestic than me going bland in the camp?
Hey guys, fucking...
Sorry,
oh my gosh, shut up!
Fine. Yeah. I want to do something, you don't want to do something, so we don't do something.
She does it. Freeze!
Yeah, we'll swing around here. So it's a sticky spot. Oh, kangaroos! But they're right there, look at them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Where? Where are you looking at this kangaroo?
13, 14, 15, 16. The whole paddock is full of roos.